Hello. I would like to introduce you to the most dangerous hospital in the world. In this hospital, patients are more likely to receive a fatal dose of anesthesia and die within 48 hours of surgery. Caregivers, such as nurses, are less likely to wash their hands before treating patients, and cancerous tumors are more likely to be overlooked. If I were a patient, I certainly would not want to be cared for in this hospital and would recommend everyone to avoid it as well. However, surprisingly, this hospital is located in your city. What I have described is a reality that happens in most medical centers around the world, especially between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And it is not only health professionals who suffer from this. In Denmark, when students take national standardized tests, they use computers, but since there are more students than computers, they have to take the tests at different times. The results of the 4-year tests were analyzed by researchers, and an interesting correlation was found. Students who took the test in the morning had higher scores than those who took it in the afternoon. The score gradually decreased with each hour spent on the day the students took the tests. Although other factors may have also influenced it, the time of the test was a significant component. So what is the reason behind this? Many people feel that as the afternoon progresses, they become less productive. Motivation decreases, concentration becomes more difficult, and the work produced is of lower quality. This phenomenon is known as afternoon slump and is experienced by many people around the world on a daily basis. There is a biological explanation for this phenomenon: circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is responsible for controlling many bodily functions, functioning as an internal clock that regulates hormone production, body temperature, blood pressure, and other functions throughout the day. The circadian rhythm is also responsible for regulating our sleep and wakefulness, through the release of melatonin when it is time to sleep, and the secretion of cortisol to wake us up. In addition, our circadian rhythm affects our cognitive ability and energy levels, which means that we are not equally intelligent or productive throughout the day. Some parts of the day are better for mental activities and others for the opposite. For example, during the night there is a big decrease in energy and alertness, especially between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., but this goes unnoticed because most people are asleep. Upon waking, energy and alertness gradually increase throughout the day, peaking in the late morning, when we are usually most mentally active. Then there is a drop in the afternoon, which occurs about 7 hours after we wake up, usually between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., which is known as the afternoon slump. This slump is a natural biological occurrence controlled by our circadian rhythm. This explains why health professionals make more mistakes, students perform less well, and you feel unfocused and unmotivated in the afternoon. After the afternoon falls, there is another period of alertness, but energy slowly decreases as the body prepares for sleep. Although the circadian rhythm varies somewhat from person to person, most follow a similar pattern, with an alertness curve that rises slowly after awakening, peaking in the late morning, dropping in the afternoon, and then rising again when the afternoon slump ends. The alertness level slowly decreases as bedtime approaches, with a large drop in the middle of the night. The cycle repeats when you wake up. While the afternoon slump is natural, some things make it worse, but there are some key habits that can help reduce its effects. First, let's explore what can aggravate the slump. One cause is lack of sleep. This is not surprising, as sleep deprivation can significantly decrease mental alertness levels, especially during the afternoon slump. However, if you get enough sleep regularly, the circadian dip will be less intense. Many people try to maximize their time by cutting out sleep, hoping that being awake longer will allow them to accomplish more things. This is a basic mistake. These people don't realize that they are functioning suboptimally throughout the day. Although they may have more time, they have difficulty concentrating, which causes them to take longer to complete their tasks. On the other hand, people who sleep well may have slightly less time available, but they have more energy and consequently perform better. For optimal mental and physical performance, quality sleep is crucial. Therefore, it is essential to get a good night's sleep. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to stay healthy. It is better to wake up naturally rather than with an alarm clock, so that the body can rest as much as needed. Another thing that can amplify the afternoon slump is a big carbohydrate lunch. Afternoon slump can be amplified by a heavy carbohydrate-based lunch. Large meals require a lot of digestion work and can lead to drowsiness, especially when they are composed of simple carbohydrates, such as sugar. When you consume simple carbohydrates, there is a temporary rise in blood glucose, followed by a sharp drop, which can result in an even greater drop in energy level during the afternoon slump. To avoid this phenomenon, it is recommended to opt for smaller portions of varied meals, including protein, fats, and fiber, rather than large meals consisting only of simple carbohydrates. Previously, I mentioned how students who took tests in the afternoon had lower scores than those who took them in the morning. The proposed solution to this was to move all tests to the morning. However, the researchers discovered something else. Students who took a 20 to 30-minute break before the test, to eat, play, and talk, had no drop in their scores, and in fact, they even increased them. Even if the test was taken in the afternoon. Nowadays, we are often seen as lazy if we take a break. This is because we believe that in order to do more work, we need to stay focused on the task. But in fact, when we concentrate for too long, we can feel mentally fatigued, less able to concentrate, slower, and more prone to making mistakes. Breaks are underrated, as they can minimize and avoid all of this, especially during the afternoon slump. So, what does it take to take a proper break? There are 4 essential elements. The first is detachment, meaning that during the break, it is important to mentally disconnect from work and think about something that is not cognitively demanding. The second element is movement. A short walk can increase your energy levels, sharpen your focus, and reduce mental fatigue during the afternoon. One study showed that walking for just 5 minutes every working hour is more effective than a longer 30-minute walk. So try to take short breaks to walk frequently if possible. The third element is getting outside. A short walk outdoors is more invigorating than a walk inside a building. Not only do you get more exposure to the sun, you also physically disengage yourself from work. Finally, the fourth element is company. Spending time with other people, especially those you care about, is a great way to recharge your energy. However, if your job involves constantly dealing with other people, it may be better to use the break alone, especially if you are introverted. Therefore, consider taking a short walk outdoors with a friend, during which you can discuss something non-work related, for an ideal and restorative break. Energizing naps are a way to recharge yourself during the afternoon. Taking a 10 to 20-minute nap can increase mental alertness for up to 3 hours, while a 5-minute nap has no effect. However, it is important not to oversleep, as this can cause sleep inertia and make you feel even more tired and sleepy than before. It is recommended to think of napping as a relaxing meditation, rather than a complete sleep. If it is not possible to take a nap, avoid important work during the afternoon slump. Instead, switch to simpler, more mundane tasks that don't require as much concentration, to avoid overloading your brain during this period. Now that you better understand afternoon slump and how to deal with it, I suggest you try adjusting your schedule to include the tips I mentioned. If you enjoyed this video, you may be interested in Dan Pink's book entitled When, which deals with the science of time. So that's it. If you think this content helped you in any way, enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with any friends who are in need of following these tips. I'm sure they will thank you. Thank you for watching.